00. In 1900, Dayton, Ohio was issued more patents per capita than any other city 05 in the United States. More than Boston, more than Chicago, more than New York. A 012 city of 85,000 people on a flat plain in southwestern Ohio was by the most 018 rigorous measure of American ingenuity, the most inventive place on earth. The 023 list of things invented or first manufactured there reads like a syllabus of the 20th century. The airplane, the 031 electric self-starter that ended the hand crank and changed what an automobile could be. The first 037 mechanical cash register, Freon, leaded gasoline, the pop-top can. The Kettering 044 bug, which was the first guided missile, the bomb machines that broke the German 050 Enigma cipher in 1943 were built in a factory 3 blocks from the Miami 055 River. Today, Dayton's population is 137,000, 1 o'clock less than half of what it was at its peak in 1960. The factory that built 6 million Chevrolet pickups stands empty under another company's name. The Cash 111 register plant has been demolished. The bicycle shop where the Wright Brothers built the first airplane sits inside a 1-17 national park alongside a parking lot. The distance between those two facts is 1 to 22, one of the great compressed stories of American capitalism, and it begins, as 128 so much of 19th century America began, at the place where rivers meet. Chapter 1. 34. 1. The Confluence. Dayton was founded in 1796 at a point on 141, the map that almost guaranteed a city. The Great Miami River flowing south 146 toward the Ohio meets the Mad River there. The Stillwater River meets at 151 there. Wolf Creek empties into the Great Miami at the same basin. 5 waterways 158 converged in a single low-lying floodplain which meant water power, drinking water, transportation, and in the spring 207 catastrophic flooding. The first 3 were the gift. The fourth was the debt. 214. For 30 years, the town was a farming village of a few thousand people, slow to grow because the rivers, while 221 abundant, ran the wrong direction for commerce. Goods coming out of Dayton had 226 to float down the Great Miami to the Ohio River and then to the Mississippi and then to New Orleans. There was no 234 economical way to ship east. That changed in 1829 when the Miami and Erie 240 Canal opened through downtown Dayton, connecting the Ohio River to Lake Erie 246 through a ditch dug 400 meters across western Ohio. Not a metaphorical ditch, and 253 actual ditch 40 feet wide and 4 feet deep, dug by Irish and German immigrant labor 259 for 30 cents a day. The canal turned Dayton into a shipping town and more 305 importantly into a machine shop town. Boats needed locks, locks needed gears, 312 gears needed precision. By the 1840s, the foundries and machine shops along 318, the canal had earned a regional reputation for fine metal work, the kind of work that requires a tolerance 3 to 24 measured in fractions of an inch. This was the seed of everything that came after. A city of mechanics had been 332 created almost by accident by the demands of moving coal and pork by 337 water. In 1845, a writer for the Cincinnati Daily Chronicle traveled 343 north on the canal and filed a dispatch describing Dayton as the gem of all our 349 interior towns. The nickname stuck. The Gem City had a population of 6,000 in 356-1840. By 1870, it had 38,000. By 1890, it had 61,000. But we are 404 getting ahead of ourselves. To understand what Dayton became, you have to meet the men who walked into its 410 machine shops in the 1880s. Chapter 2. The Inventor Class. Enter James Riddy. 419 Riddy was a Dayton saloon keeper, a man with no formal engineering training 424 whose primary occupation was selling whiskey at a tavern on Main Street called the Pony House. His secondary 431 occupation was watching his bartenders steal from him. In 1878, during a 437 steamboat trip to Europe, Rye observed a device that counted the revolutions of the ship's propeller, and the idea fixed 444 itself in his mind that a similar mechanism could count something else. He 449 returned to Dayton and, working with his brother John, patented what he called Rye's incorruptible cashier. In November 4th, 58 of 1879, the first cash register in history was a wooden box with mechanical keys that 505 rang a bell when a sale was made, ensuring that every transaction was witnessed by a sound the owner could 511 hear from the back room. Rye had no interest in running a manufacturing business. He sold the patent in 1881 519 to a man named Jacob Eckert for $1,000. And Eckert formed a small company called 525, the national manufacturing company on Main Street with a workforce of fewer than 20 men. 3 years later, in 1884, 534, a coal salesman named John Henry Patterson bought National Manufacturing for $6,500. 542. His friends told him he had paid too much. There was a brief period when Patterson tried to undo the deal and was 548 refused. Patterson renamed the company the National Cash